Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're heading up an estate sale where I found this amazing little teak 6 drawer dresser and a few other bits and bobs. So I'm going to take you to the thrift store and then back to my house to show you the finds. After the estate sale, I went over to Goodwill because I was still feeling the thrifting vibes. And I didn't film inside the house of the estate sale because it was really crowded and it was my first one. So I was just kind of taking it all in. I found a few things, but mainly most of the stuff was priced a little bit too high. I found a couple little items that you'll see in the thrift haul later when I'm back at home. And then obviously that teak dresser. That one was the find of the day. When I got to the estate sale, being that it was my first one, I arrived on time for it to start, which was 10 a.m. and clearly arrived way too late because I ended up having to wait in line to get in there for an hour because when I went to the front and got my number, which thankfully somebody was nice enough to tell me that I even needed a number because I've never been to one before, so I didn't know how it worked. I thought you just like lined up, but this nice lady was like, oh, you need to go and get a number. So I went to the front and got a number and I was like 88th. So I was like, oh, okay, game time decision. Do I stay or do I go? And I decided, you know what, like I want to see what's in there. It's my first time. Like why not, spend the time standing in line. So I did. So I stood in line for about an hour. And as we were watching people come out, I kind of was thinking, oh God, I'm going to find nothing because there really was nothing like interesting coming out with like the people who were done shopping. So I was very concerned that I was going to go in and there was going to be just absolutely nothing. But anyway, I'd already committed at that point. So by the time I got in there was still lots of stuff. The problem was pricing was a bit high. And then when I went down, I went into the basement and I spotted that 6 drawer dresser, that little dresser. And I thought, oh man, that's perfect. That would be amazing for just storing little stuff before they hit my shop. So I ended up picking that up. And so now here I am at the Goodwill getting my real fix on. And I found that tray with the Egyptian like scene on it with, like all different kinds of metal. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting tray. Not this one, it was the one in the frame before. And I carried it around in my cart for a long time. I didn't end up getting it because it was $15, which I thought was like a pretty high investment into a tray that I'm not sure will sell. But what do you guys think about it? Did I kind of miss the boat on not picking up that tray? Also, this one was kind of cute too, but I think it was really lightweight and like not good quality, which is why I didn't take it. So that's the tray I'm talking about with the Egyptian design on it. So let me know what you guys think. And then I walked this little brass plate around for a while too and ended up reshelving it. I reshelved a few of things actually on that trip. And I also was contemplating this little seashell dish for quite a while. I just couldn't really put my finger on it and, whether or not I liked it. And so I ended up putting it back, but it was a pretty little trinket dish. And obviously have to find some of the obligatory Blue Mountain pottery, which is in a lot of thrift stores here in my market in Calgary, Alberta. And they were a pottery outfit, out of the mid-century, and they made all sorts of like ceramic animals and plates and different things. And I've sold a couple of them in my shop, but typically they overprice them and you don't have enough margin. But if I find one cheap enough, I will pick it up. Here's this weird little thing that I ended up buying. One of those things when you're at the thrift store and you're like, oh, that's cool, because you're like in the mood for it. And then you bring it home and you're like, why? Why did I buy that? I don't even know what it is. I don't know. I thought it was like cool. And I don't know. I guess you could use it for like I don't know what its intended purpose is, but I suppose you could use it for like I don't know, a pencil holder, flower frog, vase, something like that. The other find that you saw there in my cart, which I didn't film when I found, but I found 3 brass nesting bowls, not nesting bowls, nesting like planters, and they're kind of like tulip shaped and really cool. So like a large, medium size, and small size. And that was one of my favorite things that I found. I invested quite a bit into it. It was $20. But I figured for the set of 3, I could get a good amount of money for those on Etsy. So I'm actually going to be listing those, and the listing should be available by the time this video goes live. You should be able to, I'll try to put a link in the description box. That's what I'm going to be trying to do, is like actually link the items that I'm showing you in my video, so that if you like them, you can actually go directly to the shop and have a chance to buy them. Because since my last video, which by the way, thank you for the support for the last video, thrifting video that I made, it got a lot of interest and views, and a few people actually direct messaged me on Instagram and on Etsy asking for particular items. So I'm hoping to, in the future, maybe it's not going to be seamless this time, but in the future I'm hoping to have the items linked before I actually put the video up, so that way people can actually buy them if they're interested. I did find this mug here, which I always pick these up when I find them, because the ones that I've bought have always sold in a reasonable amount of time. And I like mugs, it's just a fun thing to have and to, display while you're waiting for it to sell. So I just enjoy them, so I pick them up. And that it's an Otagiri mug, and that was $2. So I decided to get that, and I will put that up on my shop soon. I did see a bunch of other mugs too that I really liked, that were really beautiful, but they were just priced a little bit too high. And the problem with my Goodwill that's closest to me is they don't often price things. Well, they sometimes do, depends on the item, but they don't price things as a set sometimes when they should. So if they have 4 matching mugs, they'll price them all individually, which I don't get that. I think it's a little bit, it just doesn't really make that much sense, right? You should try to sell them as a set, in my opinion. But regardless of that, there's still some good deals to be found. I did really, really like this plate, this tray, like a brass etching. And I walked it around the store with me. It had a little trip in the cart for pretty much the entire time I was at the thrift store, and I was really considering it. I ended up not getting it just because it had like rust spots on it, which weren't like immediately visible, but like when I examined it a little bit closer, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can get those off, and I decided to pass on it. I found this enormous basket, which really made my day. It's huge, huge vintage wicker basket, really tight weaving, very top quality basket. And it reminds me of the basket that my parents always had in their front entryway in the house that we grew up in. So I immediately put that in. I mean, look how big it is. It's literally like the size of the cart. And it was $15. I did like this basket, and I did contemplate this one for a while. But the problem with some of the decorating that I have going on at my house is I realized that I have too many different shades of like wicker things. So it's kind of starting to look a little bit mishmashy. So I need to figure that out. So I decided, you know what, I need to press pause on the wicker for the time being until I can figure out you know, what I want my color scheme to be and like what I'm keeping. But it was a nice basket. Like, I think anybody would be excited to have that basket, but it just wasn't for me. And then I didn't think wasn't sure about whether or not it was vintage and whether I could, you know, sell it. So I just left it behind. This little doodad was kind of cool. It's a little temperature gauge. And somebody donated like 15 IKEA clocks. There were so many. Like, that was the tip of the iceberg. Like, there were so many from IKEA. So I don't know what was up with that. And I took a cruise through the pillows. I did find this poof type pillow, but I wasn't sure if it was vintage because there's a lot of knockoffs of pillows like that are newer made but look vintage. So I just left it behind, even though I thought it was kind of cool. And I did take a quick look at the rugs. I recently found a rug at the Goodwill bins that I saw one of the staff was like rolling out, and I like hustled over and grabbed it, and it was $10, and I ended up selling it for, I think it was like $50 like the next day. And next I went over to the book section. Goodwill charges $2 for an adult book, so I got a few. And if you're liking the video so far, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get over 1,000 subscribers, and since the last video, we're so close. So if you love thrifting, please subscribe to the channel because that's what we love, and you can expect to see a thrifting video about every week. And here is my favorite find from that thrift trip. And call me crazy, but I've always wanted to find one of these vintage frogs. If you know them, you know what I'm talking about. They're very like 70s. People would put their little dish scrubber in them beside their sink. And I finally found mine. So he's staying with me. And so now I'm going to take you guys over to a new thrift store. So this one just opened very close to where I live. It's called Mission Thrift. And I was able to check them out for the very first time the other day. And it's a very pleasant thrifting experience in there. If you are located in the Calgary, Alberta area, definitely go over and check them out and support them. It was just a really cute shop. They merchandised everything and decorated it well. It's clearly just starting because the shelves, as you can see, as we go through the next clips here, you'll see that the shelves are actually quite bare. That being said, I did still manage to find some cool stuff. The pricing was a little bit like up and down. There was a few items where I was just like, whoa, like who put the sticker on that one? And then there were some where I was like, okay, yeah, that's a decent deal. Like nothing crazy, right? And I found a few brass items that you'll see coming up that I did end up getting, and you'll see them in the haul. And why I got them, there is actually a few that are potentially worth a decent amount of money. And I did find these little embroidery kits, but I did not pick them up. I actually have two, one embroidery kit and one crewel kit in my Etsy shop right now that I've had in there forever. And I thought that someone would buy them, but they've been sitting for quite some time, and nobody's bought them. So for the time being, I am pressing pause on purchasing any more needlepoint kits until those ones sell, and maybe even just forgetting about that. So here I am just in the, I guess, furniture / craft section. They even had these little, I don't know what are those, like sewn coat hangers. They're so cute. And then they have a little linen section. Nothing crazy. I'm definitely going to keep coming here. I know they're going to get more and more inventory, and I feel like it has the potential to be a really cute, really good neighborhood thrift store. We had a Value Village that was really close to my house, but it closed last year, and around about last year, and they opened a bigger location, still close, but not like neighborhood close. So I'm kind of happy to have like another little cute neighborhood thrift store. This one is right by Dollarama and a few other things. So like if you're out doing errands, getting gas, getting a few things, grabbing a Tim Hortons in Canada. If you're joining us from the States, we love Tim Hortons over here and Starbucks, and I know you guys love your Dunkin' Donuts. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've heard anyway. But yeah, anyway, it's nice to have like a little cute neighborhood thrift store. This lamp was cool. I've seen like textured lamps like that on other people's, interior styling YouTube accounts. And apparently they're, all the rage right now is having that those textured lamps. And now here we are at my baby. So this now belongs to me. So I found this teak made in Denmark, as it turned out, hutch or shelf unit, whatever you want to call it. And I've been on the hunt for one of these for a while. In my local market area, teak furniture is not cheap. Like, it's impossible to find it cheap these days because the mid-century wave, everybody knows about its value and they're not letting it go without a fight. So you really have to look hard to find teak that is affordable. And I found that unit. I didn't get both of them. I didn't really like this one as much, and then it had the cutout in the back. And the color was also a little bit different than the other one. So I only got the first one that I was showing you there, and that was $75, which is a steal of a deal for made in Denmark teak shelf unit, even with a little bit of slight damage to it. I did see this wall hanging too, which I thought was beautiful, but the pricing was too high. It's $45. I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's gorgeous. Clearly it's handmade and unique. But for me, it was too much to spend on that piece. I'm sure somebody will fall in love with it and buy it, but not for me for $45. I might actually consider it if there was ever like a half off day. So I don't know if this store ever does that, but I'm going to look into that. And then, yeah, just perusing the furniture and the art. They didn't have a lot of art that I would necessarily pick up, but I was really stoked about that piece of furniture. This rug was insanely huge. Like, I can just imagine the parlor that originally went in. It was absolutely enormous. And yeah, this workbench too was probably a really good buy for somebody who's in the market for like a really good solid workbench. I think it was like $15 or $18. And yeah, here I am just exploring the store. They did have this mid-century dining set, and it was $400 for all the chairs and the table, which I think is actually not a bad deal. They did need refinishing. You can't really see in the video, but the chairs were pretty rough. Those are actually the same chairs that I actually have in my dining room, with just a different chair cover, and mine have been taken care of. They don't need to be refinished, but yeah, I thought it was a decent deal at $400. And exploring the mugs, I did end up taking one mug home with me, and I found this mug. I thought about buying it. I was like, oh, maybe somebody who watches my channel is named Jennifer, and I could send it off to her. But I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it for Jennifer, who comes into the store and gets so excited to find her very own mug. So I left that one for someone else. But I think what I will do is maybe in my next video, or coming soon anyway, I will probably be sending off something to one of you guys, just as a thank you for supporting my channel. So stay tuned for that. giveaway. And, you know, obviously, again, I'm really appreciative of, you know, all the comments and the likes and subscribing and watching the videos. It's pretty cool. So thank you again for all of the support that you've shown the channel. And yeah, hoping to do a giveaway soon to say thank you. This is the mug that I ended up picking up, and I thought it was really pretty and unique, and it was $1.50, and it kind of has like a little blue house, and that's what the channel is called. So I figured I had to pick that up. It has no markings on it, but it may be one I'll just keep for myself. We'll see. I kind of have fallen in love with it a little bit, and it's the perfect coffee size. And here's the glassware section. Again, really nice thrift store. Like, they have mirrors all along the wall, so it's reflecting lots of light. They have big windows, so it's a nice thrifting experience. Again, pricing's a little wild sometimes. Like, one of those boot things was like $5, so I think it's a little bit expensive, but you know, that's just me. There's some things that I'm sure I buy where people are like, you paid what for that? So, you know, it takes all kinds, right? Who am I to say? You know, somebody might come in there and be like, oh, wow, that's so cheap for those boots. You know, you never know. But yeah, as you can see, the aisles were a little bit bare because they literally just opened. So they're gathering donations and getting things set up. But considering like how little inventory they had, it was surprising that I actually found as much as I did. Again, a little bit wild pricing on some of these things, but I thought that set was kind of cool. I feel like someone will eventually buy it. A cute little mushroom knick-knack. So lots of little random pieces of bric-a-brac. And anyway, since we're kind of in a lull point of the thrifting video, let me know what you guys think of the video so far in the comments. Tell me what you think of some of the finds. Particularly would love to hear what you think about the teak furniture that I picked up. So I got that six drawer dresser on the vintage casters. And I also got the hutch that you saw in this thrift store. So let me know what you think. I did end up getting this. I'm going to collect a few Christmassy items for a little Christmas launch in, I guess, probably early fall. I think people will start doing Christmas stuff. I found this set too of little salt and pepper shakers, which I thought were really cute. And I did look at a few of the trays, and bowls. I picked up, I think, was this the one I got? I think that's the one I got there. This one was cute, but it was like dented on the side. So I ended up getting that middle one there. And I figure someone will pick that up. Usually the brass stuff in my Etsy shop sells fairly well. So it seems to be a winner. And I think it was like $5 or something. So not too bad. And I feel like this would be a good time to mention that we are also on Instagram. So if you are on there as well, head on over and give us a follow. It's at bluehousevintage.yyc. And we are trying to grow our Instagram as well. And that's where you may see items popping up first and other little behind the scenes adventures that I go on. So check us out over there at bluehousevintage.yyc. I found these goblets that were really cool. They're $8, so I thought, that's a little bit expensive, but there was a set of 6. So I thought, you know what, I could probably get a decent amount for that. And then tell me what you guys think of this mobile. I thought it was like the creepiest mobile I've ever seen. But am I like missing something? Is this like a piece of art? I don't know. I thought, my God, that's going to scare any toddler half to death. But let me know what you guys think of it. And yeah, here I am just exploring what they have on the shelves. So again, a little bit sparse, but I have faith in them that they're gonna get these shelves filled with stuff, and I feel like this is gonna be a really good thrift store. And I feel like this would be a good time to ask you guys if you are resellers as well, if you sell some of the thrifted finds that you get, let me know where you sell them, and feel free to put your shop in the comments, and I'd be excited to take a look and see what you all are up to as well. So feel free to pop a comment down below and tell us about your shop, whether it be Etsy or what you sell and where you sell it, and just tell us a little bit more about you guys. I would love to learn a little bit more about who's actually watching the videos, and if you just thrift for enjoyment and for your own home, as I do too, feel free to let me know what you look for and what you are picking up. My house, like I'm telling you guys, it's 95% thrifted, which I take great pride in. I do have a few. Oh, I did end up picking up this for $1, and I think it's gorgeous. I was really happy with that one. That one's really pretty. I'm excited about that find. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, 95% thrifted house. I do have like a few of the bigger items that I purchased from stores. Like for example, my dining room table is actually from, what's that store? I think it's Wayfair. It's an acacia wood table, and I ordered it online, and I'm extremely happy with it. And I have like a couple couches that I bought brand new, but like those big things are new, but the rest pretty much, unless you are counting my IKEA bookshelves, most of everything else is thrifted and found on Facebook Marketplace and secondhand and different things. So I'm proud of that, and it takes a lot longer to make your home look a certain way when you're doing it all with thrifted finds. So it is a labor of love. Like you can't just go to the store and be like, oh, I like the furniture in this room, I'm just gonna buy it all and then I'll have that complete look in my house. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It's like it takes years to make it look the way you want it to look, and a lot of trial and error too. I'm gonna cut off the commentary here for a little bit and just let you guys enjoy. I'll see you in a minute. So I'm back with you. I just wanted to show you this adorable little book corner that they have with the Once Upon a Time sign, and I thought it was just really cutely organized and nicely done. And they have all sorts of different book sections that are, so it's actually organized by category, and the book prices were, they were like ranging from 75 cents for like the cheapest like kids book to about $3.50 for like an adult hardcover. It's not bad. They did have a sale today, or that day I should say, on books buy one get one. And here is the wall unit inside my car. They helped me load it up and it actually fit, so that was awesome. Now I'm going to take you back home and we're going to go through the thrift haul. Okay, so let's go through these items in greater detail, and we'll start off with this frame. So this I found at the Goodwill bins, and another girl had discarded it, and she didn't like the color, is the reason why she didn't pick it up. But I think someone's really gonna like it, and it's a cool wicker frame, so I decided to pick that up. And our Goodwill bins is $1.35 per pound, so that's what I paid for that. And also went right after the estate sale that I went to, I stopped off at a Goodwill and I found this Otagiri loon mug made in Japan, and it was $2, so I decided to pick that up. These ones tend to sell well in the shop. And also from the Goodwill bins, there was just this cute little wooden elephant at the bottom of one of the bins, and he seemed a little sad. He's got a little bit of a damage to his little ear there, so I thought I would take him, and I think he's really cute and obviously hand carved, and I think he will look cute on my shelf, so that's something that I'll be keeping just because of the damage on his ear. And then this, so I was getting kind of desperate at the estate sale. And I did find these, and I just was determined just not to leave with nothing. But I like these. I mean, they were $4 each, so I hope that they do sell. I'm planning on listing them as a set. And what these are mid-century toothbrush holders. So I guess you could use it for pens or pencils as well. But yeah, anyway, I thought they were pretty, pottery and unique. I've never seen them before, so I figured why not give it a go. What else? So the lion pillow, this guy right here, he's also from the Goodwill bins, and let me know what you think of him. I think he's really, really neat. So I decided to pick him up. And since we're on the topic of the Goodwill bins, I'll show you the art that I got from there as well. This is an embroidery piece of, I guess, a little kid. And I got these in a set of 2, and I think they're really cute, and obviously they were really cheap from the bins. I'll show you the other one, and they're in good condition. This one's got a little bit of damage to the frame, but yeah, there you go. I think they're adorable. So I think someone's gonna like them. So those will be available soon. And I also found a bunch of vintage gold frames, and one smaller one and then 3 larger ones. 2 of the larger ones actually match. So I think I might do a lot of these 2, and then another lot of 2. They are extremely sharp. I was cleaning the glass because they were quite dirty, being from the bins. Excuse me, Paula. Excuse me, Paula. They were quite sharp, and I actually cut both of my fingers when I was trying to clean the glass. So whoever buys them, I'll have to mention that they're extremely sharp, so to be careful when they're putting their pictures in. And then also at that Goodwill after the estate sale, I found something I've been looking for so long. So this is a vintage sponge holder. So you put it beside your kitchen sink. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with these. It's really dirty and needs a really good cleaning. I haven't been able to get around to doing the cleaning. I wanted to do the haul for you guys first, and it was $3, and I was so stoked. So he is so cute. So he's definitely not for sale. He's staying with me because I've been waiting for him for a long time. And then on that Goodwill trip, I also found a set of 3 planters. So kind of like a tulip shape. These solid brass planters. This is made in India. So I'm gonna get these all shined up. And so here's the medium-sized one. So they like nest inside. So that's the medium-sized one, and then this is the small one. So they were $20 for the 3. So $20 is a lot, but I think there's a lot of margin in these. I feel like selling them as a set of 3 will be a really good sale for me. So really unique item, and this was very easy decision to pick these up. So this piece, on the other hand, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like a pencil holder or a flower frog or something. And now I don't know. I'm not too sold on it. What do you guys think? Is it ugly or cool? I'm torn. It was $5. It's heavy. It's obviously handmade. So anyway, I picked it up. We'll see. We'll see how it does. It's kind of cool. And at the new thrift store that I just went to, which you saw in the video there, I found this brass little teeny tiny tea kettle, and I thought it was adorable. It was $8, and I just absolutely had to pick that up. I felt like it was maybe a tiny bit high at $8, but I still, I think it's worth it. And I did also find this really cool mug there for $1.50. And it's just really cute, cottagey, blue and white scene, no markings. So I don't know much about it, but it's a really nice weight, nice handle. So a really great drinking mug. It's a really cute blue house on it. Imagine that. And I also found, so maybe you guys can help me out with this. What are your thoughts and opinions? Is this copper or brass? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's like patinaed brass, but it's a little bit golden tinge. So would love to hear your thoughts of whether or not this is copper or brass, and then I'll obviously go with the majority there. So let me know in the comments. And I found this set of 6 mini goblets, little brass goblets, and they were $8. So again, maybe a touch high, but I feel like I looked up a few comparables on Etsy and different places, and I feel like I can sell these for a decent amount, and they're really cute. They'll do well in my shop. And then this is a neat find. So I didn't know what it was when I took it home. I just thought, oh, it's brass, it's kind of cool, let's give it a try. It was $5. So it turns out it's a Chinese bell-shaped gong, and it's with a dragon on it. So there's the dragon design. So isn't that neat? I think that's really cool. So there's a few of them listed for quite high, like $80 to $100. I don't plan to list mine that high because I don't want it hanging around my house for the next year waiting for a buyer. So I'm not sure what I'll price it at, but something reasonable. But that was a really good find, I feel. I picked this up because I like the shape. So it's a nice candlestick holder with a wide drip tray, kind of spring-like. So I felt it was pretty and decided to get it, and only $1. And I did find this other brass bowl or trinket dish, and I thought it was really neat too. It also, I believe, is a dragon etching. I think it's a dragon. It's a really cool piece. Nothing on the back there. That was $5. Yeah, very pretty. So really happy with those hauls. I think that's basically it. At the new thrift store, I did find 2 Harry Potter books that I've been looking for these specific covers, because the books that I have, these 2 anyway, are the dark black covers. And I wanted these 2 to match my other set for my Harry Potter shelf. So I picked these up, and it was buy one, get one for free at that thrift store because their books are on sale. And then I did pick up some young adult and kids books for my daughter to add to her little library that she has going. I got a bunch, just classic titles, and then another one for me because I'm collecting this series, Ladies Detective Agency series, so I picked that one up, and then a few more young kids books for her. And that is it for the haul. So that about wraps it up. So here is the wall unit all set up in my house, and I'm really happy with it. I will style it up and show you guys in a future video. Also, just reminding you that we are on Instagram at bluehousevintage.yyc. So if you're on there as well, we are trying to grow our following on Instagram too. So go on over and check us out at bluehousevintage.yyc on Instagram. And I can't wait to fill this up with all the little vintage goodies before they get shipped off, and then obviously keep a lot of them. That's my problem. I like things too much, and then I end up keeping them. There was this really nice lady who messaged me on Etsy about the vintage stone domino set that was on the last video, and wanted to know if they were going to be for sale. I was like, well, my daughter loves them, but you know how kids are, right? Eventually they just stop liking stuff, and so at that point I will put them up for sale. I did notice that I put the glass panel in backwards. So I've since fixed that in case that was driving any of you crazy to watch me try to open that panel. But I have turned them around and installed them properly now at this point. So this also I'd like to show you because this is the use that I decided for with that wicker basket. My daughter still really loves Duplo, loves it. So I put all of her Duplo in there just as more of an attractive container than it was in previously, and it fit perfectly. So now that time of what sold in the shop. So since our last video a few days ago, we sold a couple items on Facebook Marketplace, and one of them was this floral art on canvas that I found at Value Village. You'll see that in an upcoming thrift video, I believe. And somebody purchased that for $30. I bought it for $7.99. And this I bought at the Goodwill bins for $10 and sold it for $40. It's a very large, very heavy maple mirror. And I bought it because I knew I could sell it, the next day and make, $30, cover my thrifting expense for that day. And sure enough, I sold it on Marketplace. So that was a nice, easy, quick one. And that's it for today. Thank you so much again for tuning in and for all of the support. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers, and give the video a thumbs up, and obviously comment your favorite part of the video, and we will see you next time. And until then, bye for now.